Shaun of the Dead is probably one of my top films of all time. And recently, while perusing through Amazon, I found the Shaun of the Dead comic book adaptation. If you don't know what this is, I'm going to assume you don't, because I didn't. And I don't see anybody talking about it. It is basically just an adaptation of the movie put on paper. And it's really short. It took me about 20 minutes to read. It was only about $15. And I'm quite happy with this purchase. Here's my review, I guess. I just want to start off. It has really nice artwork. Like this cover. I'll put in some of the panels as the video goes on, as this part goes on. But some of the panels just look incredible. I really enjoyed the artwork, and I really enjoyed what they did with it artistically. When it comes down to it, it's a completely different experience when you compare it to the movie. A lot of the dialogue's different, which changes the pace. It even adds in some new scenes that weren't in the original film. Like, for example, how Shaun got away from the zombies before returning to the Winchester. I'm giving this book a lot of praise, but it doesn't come without its faults. So something I really loved about the movie was how perfectly paced it was. And you lose that in the amazingly well done editing, and you lose the charm of the film. A lot of the action is also glanced over. Mostly because they can't show it the same way they did in the film. Specifically, the Don't Stop Me Now scene is like compressed down into like two panels, which is a little bit for what it was, and being a book, it has to try harder to make you feel for the characters. And I feel like, I don't know, I didn't feel for the characters, and so when Barbara died, it just didn't have the same impact that the film did. There's also a lot of comedic scenes that are cut down to very few panels. One that comes to mind is the bar standoff between David and Shaun, where David's pointing a gun at Barbara when she turns. That's one of the scenes that I feel like could have been done really well, but because I guess they had to make a shorter, more reasonable book, they didn't want to do that because it might have been too many panels, maybe. I know this wasn't going to be an exact one-to-one adaptation of the film. I never expected that when I picked it up. And I really did enjoy this book. There are a lot of really great scenes with the art and everything, and I just really love what they did with it. Though fucking Ed is a little bit too good looking. Despite it being a really good book, I don't see me returning to it as many times as I have with the film. I've watched the film over 20 times, and I'm prepared to watch it another 20 more in the next few years. So if I ever want to go back to this story, I'll probably just re-watch the film. But I'm really glad that I have this and that I can add it to my collection, because the Cornetto trilogy were the films that inspired me to direct. I bought my first camera because I wanted to make a zombie film inspired by Shaun of the Dead. It has a special place in my heart, and I'm really happy that I have this now to go along with the other Shaun of the Dead stuff. Like, I have the poster there, and I have a movie, and there's also another short comic that I will probably pick up in the near future and might even talk about, called There's Something About Mary. I've just been struggling to find a copy of it online. Anyways, thanks for watching. I do a lot of these type of videos where I talk about obscure things, and I have other videos in the works. So if you want to see more of what I do, please remember to subscribe and give me a good thumbing down below. I like a good thumbing. And let me know if you've read the Shaun of the Dead comic. I'm interested to see what your feelings are. Hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh? Got a boyfriend, I bet he doesn't kiss ya. Mwah.